Check the description for more game reviews, playlists, and videos. So they all decide to leave Snow behind while he tries to thaw out his crystallized girlfriend, and
Great job so far.
unfortunately this means more playing as Lightning and less, enjoying the game. So you fight the stupid bird thing twice, and then the Sea find an airship. Wait, what? An airship? What is it doing there? Why does it have no security? Why is a perfectly functioning airship right here in the middle of the ruins of all places? Why are there no guards watching it or anything? It's just sitting there perfectly unattended, and it's functioning well enough that they can get it started without using keys or a special code or anything. Whose job was it to guard this thing? Was it the same guy whose job it was to turn off the force field at the beginning of the game? I mean, seriously, if you know that there are fugitives who have the possibility of being able to destroy your freaking world, then why would you leave a perfectly functioning airship with no security whatsoever? Okay, yeah, there's that bird thing, and then there's a few guards lingering about, but don't you think you could have had a bigger task force taking care of this? So later you find Snow in distress, and he summons the Shiva sisters to come to his aid, which in this game means you have to fight them. I don't really get it either. So I have so many problems with the Eidolons. Most of the problems I have to come back to later because it doesn't really get confusing until the game tries to explain why the Eidolons are necessary and what they actually do. The Eidolons usually come during, I mean, if it's done properly, the Eidolons come at really emotionally powerful scenes, especially the one where Saj and Vanille are going, Saj is going at Vanille, and they're having a really powerful exchange, and the game spends quite a lot of time building this tension, and totally does away with it and says, "Oh, here comes an Eidolon. Oh, sorry, did we just break something up here? We thought you weren't busy." And it really is jarring almost, because it's such an emotionally powerful scene. Then you have this Eidolon, and then the battle music comes on, and then it's like, oh my goodness, I was getting into the scene. You captivated me, Square. Now you're gonna ruin it? Come on, you actually had me for a second. So yeah, sorry to jump ahead, but I'll get more on that later. Anyway, Eidolons in this game really make absolutely no sense to me. But what's cool about them is that they transform when you beat them. I'll talk about that in a little while. So basically what you have to do when you fight them is you have to fill up a Gestalt gauge, what it's called. And the Gestalt gauge is the gauge that you use to transform, basically. They use to transform into their vehicular form. The Shiva sisters turn into a motorcycle, and to do this, they scissor each other like two really horny lesbians, and then Snow gets to ride them. And not to mention, the Shiva sisters are facing up, so he could be getting a blowjob while he's riding them. That is sexy. I don't know whose design that was, but they were obviously horny bastards, because that's pretty sexy. But yeah, every Eidolon
yields to those who amass chain bonuses.
And I really have no idea what that means outside of game logic. I mean, what is a chain bonus exactly? How is it measured? how does one know the time limit to amass a chain bonus? Does a chain bonus go down if you don't actually chain the moves together? Why does a chain bonus matter to the Eidolons? Do they get some kind of kick out of it or something? Like, oh, you're chain bonusing me. Yeah, keep it up. I don't really understand that. But the real issues with the Eidolons don't actually come until later when Hope explains, oh, this is why the Eidolons appear, blah, blah, blah. Because I really want to say it now, but I just have to wait. And that's another 30 hours in, 40 hours maybe. It's going to be a long, long night. So after you defeat the Shiva sister, Snow has an orgasm or something. And then he meets Fang and this other guy who I like to call Jack Russell, because he just looks like a Jack Russell. He looks kind of hardy and weathered, and he looks like a nature-y kind of guy. A guy who could go out in the forest and survive for a month all by himself. Jack Russell here. Yeah. Kind of like a big boss kind of guy, except not as cool, but still pretty cool. Jack Russell here. I actually have no idea what his real name is, to be honest, but Jack Russell works for me. So the other Lassie launched their airship, and immediately the soldiers catch on to them and chase after them. And they have gunships at the ready, prepared to fire at them and stop them from going, and somehow the Lassie still managed to make it through. I'm talking, they have a whole row of gunships all firing at one single ship. And they all miss somehow. With all their futuristic technology, they all somehow miss. And the Lassie are able to escape. What? These soldiers are ridiculously stupid. First you send potential rebels to a city that's already rebelling against you. You give them access to guns and RPGs. You leave them an airship, a perfectly functioning airship that didn't need any key code or anything to unlock it. And then you can't even shoot them when they're making their escape. Who manages these people? How did they ever become a functioning army if they can't even stop a group of rebels that don't even when they didn't have powers, they couldn't stop them? Oh my goodness, these guys are just terrible. One more thing about the airship. This will be the first in a line of airships that the Lassie crash, because Saj is a decent pilot, but he tends to crash many airships, and I'm not entirely sure why. So it's in a news broadcast that you meet Bartandalus, aka Daisley, aka something else, aka God, aka the Pope, aka I don't even know who this guy is. He's the worst evil villain ever. Really is. His entire strategy, his entire modus operandi just consists of Jedi mind tricks. Really, that's all he does is mind tricks people. And he's so bad at it too that even these losers can figure it out. It takes them the entire game, but they eventually figure it out. And though he turns out to be right or something, I don't even know. And he's, oh my god, I don't even know. Any evil villain that dresses like the Pope is just gonna be a bad evil villain unless you actually take some, unless you actually act like the Pope or something and then trick everyone after brainwashing the entire populace. Oh. Well, anyway, so Lightning gives a suggestion that they should fly into an obvious danger zone to try to lose their pursuers, and they end up crashing. Oh, what a surprise. I would have thought we would crash if we went right into a giant ball of energy and electricity. So there's this hilarious scene in which okay, so the Lassie, Lightning, Vanilla, and Sash fight this generic battle, a bunch of random robotic enemies or whatever. And then after the battle, Saj and Vanilla are just really tired or whatever, so they sound like they're making so much passionate, hot, nasty love. all over them wherever they are, and they're just loving every second of it. Like, they're just having so much fun with it. Oh my god. Try to listen to this and not get a hard on.
Professor,
Yes, dear.
will there be any extra credit?
I am so glad you asked.
You ready?
Ready!
Man, on the beat.
Glad that's over.
What? No break? We don't have your kind of stamina.
Come on, you give up too easy, old man.
I'm not giving up. There's some things that you just can't change. A kid like you would not understand.
Yeah, I'm a kid. I don't understand.
Well, I guess we can be fugitives together. Oh. You ready?
Ready!
So you battle a somehow still active Juggernaut. A Juggernaut from Pulse, mind you, and it's still active. Why was it just laying here, unattended? So an upgrade system is introduced, but I always found it just as useful as waving my dick at the screen. So this is my chance to actually see if you need to use the upgrade system to get through the game at all. My hypothesis is that the game is so unbalanced that you can just use Crystarium and accessories to get through the entire game. And that's pretty much it. You don't need to upgrade your weapons at all. So I guess by this point the developers were like, oh god, we've just been here whacking off for like an hour and a half and nothing has happened. We need to throw something in here quick so we can keep people's attention. Maybe an Eidolon perhaps? Because literally Hope fucking trips and then Lightning gets so angry that she inadvertently summons Odin, the same exact summon in Final Fantasy IX who destroyed countless civilizations. She summons him because she's mad that Hope tripped. God forbid he freaking scraped his leg or something. She probably would have shot him or something or destroyed the world. I don't even know. She needs anger management for sure. So Odin is fucking annoying as hell to fight. And the only real strategy for beating him is to turn the battle speed to slow and then get on your knees and pray. Hope for the best, you know? So I always find it funny that Odin turns into a horse in this game. Not that horses are particularly funny. I really like XIII from Final Fantasy X. But, Odin always rides on a horse, and he's like this really badass motherfucker who has a lance in Final Fantasy IX, and he rides on his horse, and he just strikes through the enemy, and they die automatically, and it's just like he can destroy entire towns with this move. And Lightning, he turned into a horse and has to have someone else ride him. That's kind of embarrassing. So after the battle, Lightning immediately apologizes to Hope for her serious overreaction before, and it just goes back to what I'm saying about the Eidolons breaking up a scene for no reason and them coming in for really no reason whatsoever. Like, they couldn't have found a better scene, a more emotional scene for Lightning to have her Eidolon appear. I can think of quite a few.
I'm sorry about before.
He has handcuffs.
He has handcuffs. He's about to get raped. Don't drop the soap. Loser. Look, everyone, fresh meat.
Oh god.
Maybe I should cut that part.
Yeah, you really should.
I don't want to go outside and get
Oh, so is this guy?
Yeah, that's Sid Reigns. But no, the other guy is... There's another guy named... I mean, I don't know what his name is, but I call him Jack Russell. But that's Sid Reigns.
Sid Reigns.
And again, third playthrough, I have no idea who he is. No idea.
It's funny how he takes out he extends his hand to shake his hand, and Snow looks at him. He's like, "Oh wait, hold on, wait." He's like, "I have handcuffs on, you fucking dumbass."
See, he's like evil, but he's a good guy. But he betrays you. But he actually wants to do something good for the world. But then I don't even understand. What is this guy's motivation?